The concept of anti-fragile design structure has become an entrepreneur's consensus. Everyone needs to know what anti-fragility is. The core of anti-fragility is when uncertainty happens, I need to make sure I can get better, not worse. This is antifragility. You see, all the characteristics of good business are like this. Seeing a horizontal line, this is what a parabola looks like. All the characteristics of a good business are like this. What does this mean? Below the horizontal line is the cost, and above the horizontal line is the income. A good business characteristic is that costs have a bottom. Costs have a lower limit. And even if they lose money, they lose so much. Costs have a lower limit. But once you can make money, you can make a lot of money. That's a good business. That's a business worth doing. What does a bad business look like? This parabola is upside down. Why? Even if making money is limited, making money is a number. Even if losing money is unlimited, you can lose money all the time. I know someone in a third-tier city, a tourist city, opened a large hotel, invested about $1 billion. The place is also cheap. Invested $1 billion, opened a 5-star hotel. Just opened. The municipal government in front of them started to repair the road and dug a big ditch to start repairing the road. Wow. After 5 years of repair, the company went bankrupt. Just waiting for this $1 billion investment, this 5-star hotel has not yet been operational, and the door repair road started. You think, who dares to live when the road is repaired? So the occupancy rate is very low. You see, the characteristics of this business are that even if making money is limited, making money is a number, but losing money is bottomless. So many employees, you open a restaurant, open a noodle restaurant, you try. I've lost my noodle restaurant. Open a noodle restaurant, you find that even if you make money, turnover is 3 times a day, 4 times a day, a few $1,000s a day. But if you don't make money, if there are no people, employee salaries, utilities, rent, ingredients, expired things, fire, all lose money. As long as you open, today there are costs that have been spent all the time. At this point, you find that this business makes you very anxious and painful. So, our first generation of Chinese entrepreneurs, we go back to reflect on their business models, and you will find that it is lost on this thing. In the 2008 financial crisis and the global economic downturn in 2012, it was the manufacturing companies in the regions of Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Shanghai, and Guangdong that were the first to go bankrupt. Why not close Nike, not Adidas, but we give Adidas Nike to make clothes factory? According to us, we made things, lower costs, but the problem is you are too fragile. You make the factory so big, the production line so much, workers hired so much. This time they tell you, no orders. I know many bosses like that. They get bullied by foreign orders and they end up losing money. I asked them if they would continue doing it even at a loss. They told me that if they didn't make money, they shut down immediately. If they do make money, they gradually wind down, waiting for the next economic cycle. If the next economic cycle is good, they can make some more money. That's why a lot of manufacturing companies, even though they know they're losing money, keep accepting orders and keep going. Why is that? You have no say in front of that brand. In front of that intellectual property. You have no say because your brands and intellectual property are legally protected. Its way is if you want to use my Nike checkmark logo, you have to pay me. I'm only responsible for giving you a checkmark. I manage how much you sell, give you a checkmark, and you give me money. So when the economy is bad, you give me less money, I don't lose. When the economy is good, you give me more. Anyway, I have this checkmark. The risk I provide is this checkmark. Then the research and development in the United States headquarters is a cost with a bottom. So you go to see the US economy almost all do this kind of thing. Americans do not do OEM. Americans do is I create a brand, create a logo, create an Iron Man, create such a thing. Then people all over the world help him produce. After the production, it turns to say no production. The factory owner cried, and there was no way. Because you carry all the fragile parts. Then you say that opening a restaurant listening to you is a very fragile thing. Why isn't McDonald's fragile? Did you notice that McDonald's, through its intellectual property, through its whole set of standards, McDonald's most important product is not hamburgers, not fries, not toys. McDonald's most important product is its store. It turns its store itself into a standard product. This product is a product manual. It's such a thick stack of product manuals, online and offline training. Done. If you want to be my agent, first pay money, first pay a few million, give you a stack of paper, equal to me holding a stack of paper cost into a few million cash. Then first you go to find a store. Second, you go to decorate, you go to complete. I am responsible for helping you. Take what to help you? Take knowledge to help you. I use my knowledge of this industry to help you. So in the end, you will find that spending money to open a store is Chinese, and the last one to make money is the person who provides knowledge. So people use intellectual property to turn such a traditional catering enterprise into an IP, intellectual property enterprise, into an intellectual property enterprise. So I talk about this truth. I hope everyone can understand the thing of anti-fragility. When you are designing your business model, you have to ask yourself, where is my cost bottom line? Is it possible for me to turn my thing from selling physical things into selling intellectual property? At this point, you will find that entities are always produced. You can rest assured that for some people, producing entities themselves is also anti-fragile. What does this mean? The ability to be anti-fragile is constantly rising. For example, if everyone asks Fan, you say that those pharmaceutical companies invested tens of billions of dollars in a drug, isn't it very fragile? You have to pay attention. Fragility and anti-fragility are related to your ability. It also has a variable called ability. For example, a few of us are getting carried away right now and suggesting that we develop a new drug. They propose investing 1 billion RMB to conduct a trial. Personally, I think you must be out of your mind. If you invest 1 billion yuan to test a drug, you are likely to be unsuccessful. If you continue investing, you and your future generations may be unable to repay the debt, and even your son's money could be lost. Therefore, for us, 1 billion yuan invested in a drug is not anti-fragile at all. This is an extremely fragile situation. But for companies like Roche and Pfizer, which take out tens of billions, hundreds of billions, to invest in a variety of drugs, it is very anti-fragile, because their assets can be divided into many parts, tens of billions, many parts, and each part to do a drug. As long as successful, then hundreds of billions will come back. They have the financial capability to do so. Just like making movies. Making movies is an adventure for ordinary people, because you don't have that much money. But for Sony, 21st Century Fox, and other large companies, then you must have a lot of movies did not make money every year to shoot so many movies. As long as there are those heads of the few movies to make money is enough. So, for them, it is anti-fragile. Anti-fragility is not a fixed state, it's a relative state. The stronger your abilities, the higher your anti-fragility becomes. Therefore, we need to constantly improve our own anti-fragility. And this is where you become more and more powerful.